In 1911,
The Mona Lisa was not the most famous painting in the world. It was a respected Renaissance portrait, but it wasn't a global icon. There were no massive crowds fighting for a photo, no bulletproof glass, and it wasn't even bolted to the wall. It was simply another piece of art in the Louvre. On the morning of Tuesday, August 22nd, a French painter named Louis Barrault walked into the museum, intending to sketch the masterpiece. But when he arrived at the Salon Carré, he was stunned to find an empty space on the wall. The museum guards were entirely unbothered, assuming the museum's photography department had removed it to take pictures. It took a staggering 26 hours for the museum to realize the terrifying truth. The Mona Lisa had been stolen. The theft made international headlines immediately, creating a frenzy. The French police were desperate. They closed the national borders, searched every vehicle leaving the country, and offered a massive cash reward for information. But their investigation quickly took a bizarre turn when they arrested one of the greatest artists of the 20th century, Pablo Picasso. Picasso and his close friend, the avant-garde poet Guillaume Apollinaire, were brought in for intense questioning. Why target them? Because years earlier, Apollinaire's former secretary, a conman named Honoré Joseph Jerry Pierret, had stolen small, ancient Iberian statues from the Louvre and sold them to Picasso. Picasso even used the face of one of these stolen statues in his famous 1907 masterpiece, Les Demoiselles d'Avignon. When the Mona Lisa vanished, the police suspected the artists were part of an elite international art theft ring. Picasso, terrified of being deported from France, denied everything in court, sweating profusely and even claiming he didn't know Apollinaire. After a highly emotional and theatrical trial, the judge realized they were completely innocent of the Mona Lisa theft and let them go with a warning. While the police were interrogating famous painters and tracking down red herrings, the real thief was hiding in plain sight. His name was Vincenzo Peruggia, an Italian handyman who had actually been employed by the Louvre to help construct the glass-enclosed frame for the Mona Lisa. His plan was shockingly simple. On a Sunday night, he hid inside a small Louvre broom closet until the museum closed. The next morning, wearing the standard white smock worn by all museum employees, he quietly took the painting off the wall, removed it from its heavy wooden frame, slipped it under his clothes, and simply walked out the door. He kept the priceless painting hidden in a trunk in his shabby Paris apartment for over 2 years, while the police completely failed to find him. When finally caught, Peruggia claimed he stole the painting out of intense Italian patriotism, believing that a masterpiece by Leonardo da Vinci rightfully belonged in an Italian museum, not a French one. But decades later, a much darker, multi-million-dollar theory emerged. In 1932, a journalist named Carl Decker published an explosive article in the Saturday Evening Post featuring a confession from an aristocratic conman named Eduardo de Valfierno. Valfierno claimed he was the true mastermind behind the entire heist. According to his story, he paid Peruggia to steal the Mona Lisa. But here is the twist. Valfierno never actually wanted the original painting. Instead, Valfierno had hired a master art forger named Yves Chaudron to paint 6 absolutely perfect copies of the Mona Lisa before the heist even happened. Once Peruggia stole the real painting and the heist made global front-page headlines, Valfierno allegedly sold the 6 fake copies to 6 different greedy American millionaires. He tricked each buyer into believing they were secretly purchasing the stolen original. The scam netted him millions, and he let Peruggia take the fall. Whether the Valfierno scam is historical fact or just a brilliant myth, Vincenzo Peruggia's luck eventually ran out. He was caught in December 1913 when he attempted to sell the original painting to the director of the Uffizi Gallery in Florence, Italy. Peruggia was hailed as a patriot in Italy, but ultimately served a short prison sentence of just 7 months. The painting was exhibited in Italy and then safely returned to the Louvre in early 1914. But Peruggia's crime completely changed history. The intense media circus, the international police investigations, the arrests of famous figures like Picasso, and the mystery of the empty wall had catapulted a simple Renaissance portrait into a global phenomenon. The brazen theft of 1911 is exactly what transformed the Mona Lisa into the most famous and highly guarded painting in the world.